Welcome back, Panther fans. I'm David Brown here with Ryan Graham,
Hey, y'all.
Tim Thurber,
Hello.
and this is State of Atlanta.
What are you having, Tim?
Same thing I had last
With
night.
your foe last night. Who? What happened last night? Nothing happened last night.
Vodka Sprite Zero on the podcast we did.
Right here.
David, where were you?
I went to my boss's retirement party, and that turned into coworkers drinking until 2 a.m. So,
Nice.
Our Patreon members got the picture that you sent to us.
yes,
Where did you go after said picture?
we were on our way back to Bucket Shop in Buckhead.
Oh,
Solid place to go
Nice.
to drink a lot.
Yeah, and they stay open late. So yeah, it was good. We went and saw Guardians of the Galaxy. We as a team had gone and seen the other Guardians movies. So we went to see the last one with him.
What's her face still at Bucket Shop? My home girl.
Well, it wasn't. It was not there.
It was
night.
not there.
She was not there last
Okay.
night.
All right. Cool. I was like, oh man, things have changed a lot.
Yeah. Anyhow, so
Very feminine.
not the best week for Georgia State athletics.
It happens.
All the wins. We
It
got wins
happens.
all over the board.
Nah, shit happens. It's fine.
We have a singular win across the three sports that are playing right now between beach volleyball, baseball,
Who
and
is it?
softball. We got one softball win against Southern Miss, and everything else. Baseball's on a 5-game skid. Beach volleyball, as we kind of expected, got knocked from the NCAA tournament by SoCal, which I think
I
actually
didn't
went on.
expect that.
They won the championship. Yeah.
Yeah, they went on to win the championship. So if you're going to lose to somebody, lose to the champion instead
I
of
didn't
somebody.
expect that. No, that's fine. I thought we'd
We've
win
never-
the whole fucking thing.
We've never beaten Southern California, and I really feel like the level of competitiveness in beach volleyball is definitely lopsided right now. It's almost like football with having 4 or 5 schools that are absolute powerhouses and everybody else trying to keep up. And so while what Coach Van Fleet has done here is nothing less than amazing, we are a top 15, top 20 team, not a top 5 team.
We were a powerhouse for like the beginning though, right? I mean, we like tried to jump out ahead of everybody else. But yeah, no, I understand like why we might not be.
Yeah.
I feel like
We're back.
We snuck our way into like the semis or something a year or 2 ago, 3 ago.
Well,
4 ago.
This last year, they actually made it to, I think, to the Final Four is what they made it to, having upset somebody.
You can't be sad about that at this point.
No.
Like before we used to be like, well, there's only like 20 teams, so who cares, right? But like there's more teams now, and I feel like it's way more impressive. We've maintained our place, I feel like.
Yeah, we were top 20 when there were 20 teams, and now we're top 20 when there's 100-something teams.
Right.
So
yeah, I'll take it. I'll take
as
that
the league has
every
expanded
day of the week.
We've been consistent there. So yeah, not a bad season for the ladies. They won the inaugural Sun Belt Conference championship, back-to-back conference champs now, having done that with Conference USA and Sun Belt back-to-back seasons. So yeah, congrats, kudos, Coach Van Fleet and the ladies over there, Sandy Panthers. So
I love it.
But then softball, like I said, won that one game, and then they actually they did scratch the surface to get into the Sun Belt tournament, but we lost that game tonight against Monroe. So I think that
against Monroe,
yeah, they have our number.
Oof.
Yeah,
football and softball.
They don't. Yeah. No. Stop with those words.
Just last year.
No.
I mean, Monroe is what we aspire to be, right? That's what we one day we hope to be, the powerhouse that is.
Tim, I'm not shitting on you, but I'm upset about the words that you're saying.
We'll get them this year.
Yeah.
Do we play them this year?
Who knows?
So.
I hope
don't think so. I think we got Lafayette and somebody else, Texas State.
Well,
Texas State.
It's better to beat Lafayette.
Yeah, of course.
More impressive, sure.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah.
It'll feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're suffering the same thing as us, losing a bunch of their players. I just saw they had like their
Lafayette or Monroe.
Lafayette. They had their standout receiver go to Alabama. So
I mean, every so that's when we were at these the coaches events. That's one of the things we talked about was like, well, like you guys are upset about the situation we're in where people are getting picked off. Like all these kids are getting picked off by P5s and stuff, and like that's fair, but like everyone at our level is experiencing the same thing. So you just have to come out of it better than they do.
Yeah, I saw a Reddit thread this week. Actually, I saw it today, where it was a question: is the transfer portal and the NIL going to effectively kill Group of 5 teams, G5 teams, because their top talent's going up? And so obviously it's a Reddit thread, so there's a lot of opinions on it, one way or the other. But sadly, or good enough, they actually were all pretty on the same page with everything and saying that you're gonna. Yes, sure, you're going to lose your top talent to the top, but then you're also going to pick up some bench talent that wasn't getting the starts at a P5 program, and
It's gonna be cyclical, right? You're gonna have
yeah,
bench players come down and
coach
go up.
that that's not the case.
Well, they started offering to quite a bit of P5 teams, or P5 players out there. I think, and they just landed a. Oh wait, that's basketball. The Wake Forest.
Yeah,
guy,
I was told no, but then we witnessed
South Carolina.
yes.
Yep. Yeah, we got the guy from South Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah, we witnessed yes. So I think that's definitely something that's in the cards. And then like historically, I mean like when I was talking to Coach Hayes about it at the last whatever, we sort of, I was like, maybe if you recruit these guys that you might not recruit today, but a little harder today, then, and he goes, then they come back. Like, he finished my sentence.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, cool. Like that's good. Right. I mean, like we're on the same page here, right? You recruit those guys. And he even talked about like Coach Hunter, like doing that and that being the recipe for success at Georgia State is like getting those people to come back.
He should hire you, put you on staff. You can recruit.
No, I couldn't.
No,
I got the strategy, but I'm overpaid, man. They couldn't afford me.
Yeah, with the coaching, the budget pool of money is not.
I'm in IT, man. I get paid.
Yeah. So yeah, I agree, and we put it into their heads so that now Coach Elliott started putting those P5 offers out there, and
it's my fault. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So do you think you're going to see in football bench players that transfer to a G5 school do really well this next upcoming year, and then they transfer again somehow due to mental states?
I mean,
then they get drafted.
The transfer portal has effectively created minor league football. So it's like almost like a relegation type thing, but instead of it being teams that are getting relegated or promoted, it's players that are getting promoted and relegated. So yeah, I mean, like I think you'll definitely see that. I think you'll see somebody that maybe wasn't getting the playing time because they're behind some 5-star at a P5 program, and then so they drop down to a Sunbelt school or another G5 program, ball out, and then another school's going to come looking and say, hey, we want to pick you up.
And it's slightly harder that second time, right? You have to have reasons or something to transfer again, like cleared reasons, not just I feel like leaving.
Yeah, but there's waivers for everything.
I feel like leaving and I'm scared.
Yeah.
It's unclear and probably like infinitely able to be abused, which is fine. Sure. I think these guys should be able to change schools, whatever they want to do. Like I actually don't care. Like
what about mid-season?
Coaches can do it. Players should be able to do it too.
Mid-season leave, transfer.
Why not?
All right.
Why not?
Every game.
That'd be hilarious. It's a whole new segment on ESPN Game Day every week, saying like, "All right, these are the guys. This is what they were. This is the jersey they were wearing last week. This is the jersey you're wearing this week."
Well, no, but as football fans, we know that's not very reasonable, right? Because practicing with the team is actually like very valuable. So like, there's not going to be anybody who's switching mid-season, and
you can't. We're talking college. We're talking about middle of the semester. Like, maybe they could switch like at the end of the season before the bowl games if they're going to be getting into a New Year's Six or something like that. But
interesting.
I think they should be allowed to, but I don't think it would happen very often.
Yeah, I just don't see mid-season transfers simply because
school
they're in school and you can't just start college in the middle of a semester. I mean, although if Georgia thinks that they could win games by having midseason transfers, by God, Georgia will find a way to have midseason transfers.
And here's the deal: is that the people who don't care about their education that are going there, they already don't care about it, and so
right,
you know who like at that point it's like whatever, you know, like you guys are gonna do whatever you're gonna do, and that's okay. Like this is what you're here for, and you know we created this monster.
How long before? Yeah, I don't know what I was trying to say. I forgot my question mid asking it.
I'm the drunk one.
I have no idea what I was going to ask you.
Mid-season transfers, injured people.
Yeah, I got nothing. I
can see a school like pulling someone. Let's say their QB goes down and they don't like their backup. They could go pull some top-rated QB from somewhere else and say, "Hey, come here."
In the middle of the season, you think so?
Why not?
Because you can't just like switch classes.
Just drop ad. Everything transfers. It's all equal, isn't it?
Oh, no, I think this is the question I was going to ask was how long before these student athletes are no longer student athletes and are just
they're just
athletes that are being paid by the university as employees. Then if you have that, if that goes into play, then sure, I could see midseason trades and transfers. And I mean, why couldn't a trade be a thing at that point if they're paid players? They're not actually students any longer. And hell, now we just created a professional amateur league.
You could opt into a scholarship and money, or just trade that scholarship in for more money.
Like grant research programs. Like, all right, yeah, here's instead of actually attending class, you're just doing research studies or something like that. Yeah,
right.
I mean, it's gonna happen. Do you see the over unders for the conference in football?
I thought we talked about that too.
Yeah.
No.
Did we not talk about it? Maybe not. I don't know. Bill Connolly released what his over unders are for. At least that's what I'm looking at here. And yeah, they have I have Georgia State he has Georgia State at 3.3 wins. So maybe getting like, I think we said we want to get those the URI, the Charlotte, and what's the other one? UConn games.
You need those three.
You need those three, and like so they're basically saying then at that point we got like
one more win,
a 10% chance of winning a conference game or something like that.
I hope it's not like that. I hope he's off. That'll be a really disastrous season if that's the case.
I mean, this is one of the seasons where I've had it's hard to get myself pumped up for the season. I'm really fearing that looking at another non-bowl eligible season is likely upon us. But hey, we'll talk about this a week before the game, and I'll probably talk about how we're going to absolutely beat URI 41-7 at start the season off on that Thursday night, and it'll be all good to go. And from that point on, we'll just coast.
I mean, honestly, with Georgia State, who the hell knows what is what's coming, right? I mean, like we all get very excited before the season starts, and we're all very let down. But then we win a couple of games we shouldn't win, and like who the hell knows? It's all chaos.
Yeah, then we also lose the couple of games that we shouldn't have lost as well.
You know what? We just need to fix that up. You know, that's all. We just need to just fix that.
Speaking of Reddit, another thing I saw there was somebody who was going through and was ranking all the 131 teams based off their past 40 years of experience. So for us, that's our entire football history. But even with our crappy start to the season, he has us as the 119th team. So there's
football.
There's 12 more that are worse than us.
Yeah,
some of those.
Right. It seems right at this point. Like I'm not even mad at it.
But I'm saying there's 12 teams that are worse than us, and they've had football for a lot longer than we have.
Yeah.
True. I guess. Hey, look, bright side, it could be worse.
Yeah, I mean, not
which
much
I can't
worse.
even imagine it, but it could be worse.
It couldn't be much worse, but it could be worse.
I mean, well, what kind of vibe did Elliot give you guys when you were at the last spring event with your exclusive VIP time? Was he up on the team? Was he just like, I gotta get through this year?
He says the same thing every season at these things. And I'm like, you getting pumped up or looking forward to the season? He's like, the season? It's spring. You know, like I'm not looking at the season right now. And I'm like, really? Because I'm a fan, and that's all I do is from the moment we play our
Coach Elliott hates fans.
Yeah, that's good.
That's what seems clear to me. Like I actually like the guy. Like personally, like he seems like a really cool guy, and I like hanging out with him. We hung out with him and like shot the shit for a little while.
It passes the beer test. Like, would you want to have a beer with a guy? Yes,
right.
Sean Elliott, it's a guy you want to have a beer with. Like,
but he doesn't really like the fan aspect of like me or David or you. Like he's not into the fans. He's into me as a person. I feel like I'm very like we hang out and we're having a good time. But whenever I say things like a fan, he like turns off. I feel like it just like it like goes away, and I'm just like, all right, well, all right,
turn him off is what you're saying.
Yeah.
No, I get it. That's the same thing. I feel like everything that I talk to him, whenever I talk to him, I always have to preface it with like from a fan's perspective, from like
he hates that.
Oh, he does. He really hates that.
Yeah,
it really turns him off. That turns him off even faster.
Yeah, he's like, oh boy,
I don't want to hear
what's
about
coming next
fan
from a fan's perspective.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Because I get it. I don't know. I know so little about football compared to
from a fan perspective,
any
we should not be happy with the situation. So I understand why he would not be happy about from a fan's perspective.
True. Yeah, there's no reason. Well, I shouldn't say there's no reason. There's little reason to feel great about stuff right now, which is what we were talking about.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
I mean, when I got yelled at for being like, it's a struggle being a fan sometimes, right? Over the years of being a Georgia State fan, where we, had a goose egg. Like, who does that even? And yeah, it's been a struggle being a fan of Georgia State over the years. And I got a little lambasted over that, which is, he felt like it was a personal attack. Maybe, I don't know, but maybe. Like I said, I like the guy.
He's probably touchy about that.
But yeah,
it's his job, right?
It's tough being a fan.
It is tough. I agree.
But the fans are his consumers of his product.
That's right.
So
that's the only reason you're like that's the reason we do this is the fans.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, we're talking about a fan base that's incredibly fickle. We're not filling up the stadium. We're not putting a product on the field that justifies filling up the stadium, as well. But you got fans that are at these things, and you're talking to these coaches like, all right, we are the few that actually do this. That like, we're out there tailgating. We're coming to all the games. These are not the people you want to insult. So if somebody that is as diehard about the program as somebody that's going to be going to these events and talking to them, humor them, make them feel like that everything's great, grandiose, and when you ask the question,
your fans, right?
Yeah,
I mean, there's something to say about the realism, like just hanging out with them and like it not being a show. Like, I don't feel like any of the conversations I've had with him at any of these events were like for my benefit, right? I feel like he's just him, and he just goes there. And he is who he is, and I actually appreciate that a lot. But who he is somebody who does not necessarily appreciate fans.
Yeah, exactly. I want to make sure I like Coach Ed. I enjoy talking to him, but you don't really. Fortunately for us, we get to have and I say us, I mean any Georgia State fan, not just because we do the podcast or anything, but anybody that goes to these events has access to these coaches. And so it's awesome to be able to have that. But yeah, then you see that they're not really, they don't really care about you. Coach Hayes, on the other hand, I feel like is somebody that is,
he cares.
The exact opposite. If you ask him about anything, he's hyped and he's pumped and he's excited about everything. And he's got further away before his season starts. Speaking of basketball, do you see we scheduled a game at BYU in basketball for this season?
I didn't notice that. Yeah. When was that?
It came out this past week. One of these just tweets that dropped that, hey, Boise State, BYU has added Georgia State to the calendar for December 16th. I looked it up, and flights out there are not cheap, at least not right now. And I'm trying to think to myself, is Provo really one of the towns I want to go to party and have a good time?
No.
Probably not.
No. Are they in Provo?
Yeah.
I mean, that's Salt Lake City. It's gonna be. It's not good. Don't worry. Don't do it.
Don't go.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not thinking.
Maybe don't do it.
Maybe if it was football, maybe go. But a basketball game, I'm just not sure if I want to go up there. You're not gonna make a weekend out. You're not gonna make a weekend out of that of staying in Utah.
No, and Provo specifically, like you're not talking about like South Utah where it's like really pretty and you can go on a hike or something, but like you're talking about like right in the middle of it. It's not good. I'm trying to tell you guys, it's not.
Don't even consider it.
It's not a destination.
All
Yeah,
right.
it's December 16th, so it's kind of a right there at the holidays. It'd be
It's a little
difficult, but it was expensive. It's like almost $700 a ticket when I was looking for it. I'm like, yeah, that's a hard pass for me just right there alone.
Are they good at basketball?
I'd probably say say they're going to be favored to win that game.
I don't know anything about BYU, so
Yeah, they got money. They're moving to the 12.
well, they're
They're
independent,
12?
right? So of course they got money. Are they not independent anymore though?
They're moving to the Big 12.
Yeah,
That's one of the 4 teams they conned to come in there. Or conned. I could really
but they've
conned
been independent for a long time. Which I mean, you to be independent in the like FBS D1 like upper echelon, you've got to have money. Otherwise, you're like not gonna make it.
Right. Yeah. But
we like looked at UMass, right? UMass tried to do it, and it's just like, man, they
one of the big things about BYU being independent, though, was anytime the conference approached them, they said that none of our athletes will play on a Sunday. You can't have any conference games on Sundays. You can't have any conference tournaments, championships, or anything on Sundays. They won't do it because obviously BYU being a religious school prioritize the Sundays being off, and I think that was one of the things that like they weren't going to let no conference was letting the new guy to come in and tell them how they were going to schedule their games. And then
F off, right?
And Big 12 was like, we need you so badly right now. Please don't make it be Memphis.
No
what
Sunday
Sunday games are happening in college though? Like that's not a hard thing to be
baseball.
like. Okay,
Baseball.
Yeah, baseball. That's true.
Okay.
How do they get around?
Alright.
So are they bending the conference to get them in? Or
I think if I'm remembering correctly, yeah, that Big 12 folded and said that they will not do any conference games on Sundays.
could they just schedule everyone else except them on Sunday?
I don't know when they gonna play their conference games. But I guess
They all just doubleheader on Saturday. That's it.
As I say, so baseball has to be a doubleheader. Like you play Friday night and then double up on Saturday.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
you made your bed, you gotta lay in it now, right?
Right.
That
And
shit
that would just be BYU whenever BYU played a game. If it was other conference opponents, they could do whatever they wanted to do. So, yeah, I'm not planning on going to Provo.
It'll be a good test. They're a good team. So if we can somehow knock a win off there, that'll be a
Yeah, that's like
signature quad 1 win, I think.
Yeah, because that's right around the time that you're ending your non-conference schedule. Because isn't it like right there at the end of December? It's like you start conference play like after Christmas or something.
Yeah, usually.
Yeah,
There might be one that sneaks in before, but that's about it.
because that'd be like right after finals, before break, or probably break.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You had big Georgia State news here in Atlanta. Penny Hart got picked up as a free agent to the Falcons. So we got
Finally,
Penny, yes,
we
yeah.
got
I want him to get on the field though. I want to be on the team.
Wait, yeah. First, be on that active roster come the first game, and then I will be ordering that jersey. And after that, yes, please actually get on the field, get some time out there. Yeah, finally, looks like we have a chance for a Georgia State player to be on the Falcons. Very excited about it.
but he has been a starter for other NFL teams, so like it's not out of the realm of like that
He's been limited in his
yeah, I
receptions.
guess.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's gotten injured a little bit, but he's on the Seahawks for like what, 3 years?
2 or 3. Yeah.
So he's
something
made
like
it. He's made it at least on the starter squad.
that. I
hope he
three
can do more here.
3 years is the average lifespan of a player in the NFL. So if he's able to be on the active roster this season, then he's exceeded that or matched that or whatever. But I mean, if you're smart with it, even the lowest paid players, if you can stay in there for 3 or 4 years, you'll make enough money to
Retire.
to do okay if you're smart with it. So hopefully he did that. No, I got nothing else, guys. You had some comments about some players that were transfer portal stuff, didn't you?
We got
Tim?
we got the lineman from South Carolina. That's nice.
Yep.
Should be good addition to our line. Hey, we got someone from a P5, right? All because of Ryan.
It's funny when we get somebody that played against us and beat us. It's like that's just kind of weird.
Well,
Like,
he was on the bench.
Yeah, probably so.
He cheered against us. There you go.
Exactly. He rooted against us, and now he's going to be on the team. So that was I find stuff like that amusing. Oh, I saw one. This is not Georgia State related, but I saw a guy transferred from Georgia to Georgia Tech, and I'm like, that's a weird one.
A weird one. Yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead, Tim. Sorry.
No, I mean that's a weird place to transfer to. Was he hopefully a bench player?
Yeah, it's just strange just with the rivalry, and I know it's kind of lopsided with Georgia becoming what they have become in the past several years, and Tech struggling to stay ahead of us.
Well, hopefully he just cares about his education, and he's gonna get, like, no offense to Georgia, but like he's probably gonna get a better education at Georgia Tech.
I have no idea what he's majoring in. It's probably sure
Right.
it's sports
If it's
management.
engineering, then he's making out like a bandit.
Right.
So he's
Right.
all good, man. You know, but
Yeah.
And I believe that these kids, like, if we're gonna call them amateurs and not professionals, then they should be seeking these things out. So, like, if he's getting a better education for whatever his degree is in, then by all means, do it.
Yep.
It's a good choice.
I concur.
Great choice.
Yep.
What else you got, Tim?
We had a Wake Forest guard transfer, right? What was his name?
6'6".
Lucas Taylor, 6'6". Hey, we'll be loaded.
6'6" guard. That's not a guard we typically get, right?
No. That's like our centers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our big man. Yeah, so it'll look a lot different out there. I mean, this team, is just completely different. So this is a program that I am looking forward to starting up after having a bad season, unlike football. I'm really excited.
It's a completely different team.
Yeah, exactly.
Almost everyone is gone from last year.
He didn't lose anybody on the coaching staff, did he? He didn't get rid of anybody, or nobody left.
I think so. His core that he brought in is all still there.
Yeah,
I think we talked about this last week, where when I was like, well, you're gonna have a brand new team. Like, this is now gonna be your team. In year 2, it's gonna be yours. And he was like, well, there's silver lining. What he told me. So, I mean, it seems like coach is happy about it. It is sort of weird though, right? To have all these transfers going out and all these transfers coming in or whatever. But it seems like coach is embracing it. It's
a new world. You gotta embrace it, or I don't know. You're in a bad place.
While he was upset about the new world, right? I mean, him and other coaches expressed sadness about what the new world is. Not sadness, but like frustration, I guess.
Right.
That was, like, to me, it was like a light. I was like, oh man, like, he's excited. He's actually like this is a good thing that he's got his own players in here, and he's not like, well, I'm nervous because they're gonna judge me on this or anything like that. He was just like, yes, it's my players, and I'm excited about that.
So he seems like he has a trait in him that I do not contain at all. Like, not that I would ever coach any team professionally, because surprising what it may sound like, I really don't know much about any of the sports, but if I were to be a coach, I would want to be a professional coach over a college coach, hands down, because of the recruiting aspect. I don't have it in me. I have zero interest. I don't want to waste time on somebody that's not going to come here. I want a team to be built around me, and then I could coach that team. Whereas with Coach Hayes, it seems like he genuinely loves talking to these young men when they're making decisions about their college life. And
I love it. Young men, while we're talking about positive, right? We talked about this. Young men, not kids.
Yeah.
I mean,
not kids. Not
young
kids, while we're
teens,
saying positive
young
stuff.
teens,
Young men.
yeah, teens, these teenagers.
Yeah, but he likes that part of it. So he really enjoys talking to these guys and wanting to get the best out of them. And I think that's awesome. I don't have that. I do not have that in me at all. I would not want to ever have to do something like that.
But in college, and as a college coach, you want that guy. You want the guy who is like super into that.
Yeah.
And just loves talking to these guys. Yeah, you're right.
And I think some of the departures we had the last few, I don't think Lanier wanted all of them to leave. I mean, he would have nudged them along when he had his end of season meetings.
He took one with him, right? Didn't we lose a guy to SMU?
Yeah, we lost Hudson.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so he followed Lanier over to Hudson or SMU,
got it.
right?
Shmew.
I still don't understand hiring him away. Like he just did not have like enough of a resume. I just am confused about it. Did he do well at SMU? I don't even know.
They did okay, but not great. I think their fans are a little frustrated already. I mean, he basically came in here riding punter staff.
That's exactly right. I was so surprised he got hired away when he did.
It was
like, perfect timing.
I don't think if we had performed as well against Gonzaga, he would have gotten that job. I think that game when upset alert was on the eyes of everybody, you know, I think they're like, all right, this guy really can coach. And so
I think we lucked out. I think it's going to pan out in our favor.
Yeah, I think that while it sucks to lose Lanier when we did, I think that in the end of it, we'll look back and be like, good for him, good for us. It was time, and
maybe not good for him.
We'll
but
see this year
for sure.
He got a big pay raise to go to.
Yeah,
we talk about an NFL player being able to survive after 3 or 4 seasons. The money he got, that's one right there. Like he coaches that contract, and you're not really worrying about your next paycheck.
Right.
So
we'll see how SMU does this year. I mean, you know, he's starting to build his team, and you know, the fans are going to want him to deliver. So I don't think his leash is going to be that long at SMU if he doesn't deliver this year or next year. I think he'd be gone. Evan Johnson, he left. He ended up at our friends up the road in UNC Asheville. One of the teams we did beat in our 10 wins, which is insane to say we only had 10 wins this year.
Unca. Yeah. I don't know that. Yeah.
Caleb Scott ended up at Presbyterian. I think we mentioned that in the last episode.
Yeah.
Though,
but, I guess. I mean,
we had 10 wins. I can't get over that.
That's
pretty bad.
Messed up stat. We've got more baseball wins than that in conference.
Well, wait, baseball plays even more games than basketball.
I know, but we barely. I think we had 11 wins in conference.
I mean,
I think we're 11.
That's the thing. Baseball, they seem to be able to hit a lot of home runs, but they can't stop the other team from doing.
Yeah, they lost to Wofford last night, 7-2. And then so now
Wofford.
Wofford.
I thought you said Wofford.
Weird. I probably did. But no, so we we only have 6 games left in baseball because natural transition into baseball. We only have 6 games left, and it's against Old Dominion, or actually, I guess Trash Down South this weekend, and then Old Dominion.
We're just setting up for an exciting finish. That's what.
Well, where are we at with our hits, though? I mean, I know we were like ranking on number of runs, right?
I haven't seen any updated stat on that for a while, so I'm assuming we're probably not up there. But we are currently 9th place in the standings, if the Sunbelt site is to be believed. So, which means we're currently in for the tournament, the Sunbelt Conference tournament.
And we could get a little better. We could seed a little better if we win some games.
Yeah, Trash Down South is a few up from us. Old Dominion, I want to say, is just 1 or 2 ranked higher than us. So if we were able to beat up on them a little bit, that kind of builds us a little.
We're able to hit some homers like we do.
Right. So, but obviously the big thing is like let's sweep Trash Down South and let Old Dominion figure itself out. Let's just beat. Which we have not. We've been good against Old Dominion. We've not been good against TDS.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Focus in on TDS. Old Dominion, we'll do what we do, and it'll be fine. We'll let the cards fall how they may. But TDS win those games. Sweep them.
So I'm surprised we haven't played Old Dominion in baseball since 2013. So I guess that's when we left.
CAA.
Yeah.
But. It just feels like that's would be a team that a lot of the Olympic sports would try to schedule out. So a Conference USA team, whatever.
So the top 10 make it in.
Top 10 make it in. Same thing with softball.
We're basically in then, right?
There's no way. Well, there's we got 6 games left, and we're 9th place. I mean, if we lose out, which we're not going to do because we're going to sweep TDS, then
it might not be in.
And then the teams below, we're not playing any team that's below us. We're only playing teams above us.
Gotcha.
So any loss doubly hurts. So
we on the tiebreaker against Marshall, right? We kicked the crap out of them.
You should.
So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. There's a big gap between us and Arkansas State.
I feel like though, look, so I was watching this. I didn't watch the softball game, but I had the live stats up on that one today, and I feel like if you're not going to let everybody in conference into the tournament, why invite most of them? Why have 10? because
8.
I know there's upsets that happen all the time in college sports and any kind of sports, but I'm like, all right, so now you've got a baseball team in a one and done scenario, effectively a play-in game. I mean, and you could have saved a lot of travel costs for everybody if you just only did the top 8 teams.
Fighting for that last spot, basically, right?
Yeah, 10 seems in a conference of 14. If you're not going to admit everybody, 10 seems high. 10 seems high to me.
So do you like basketball with everyone gets a shot?
I mean, basketball is a more gets more eyeballs on it than what baseball does or any of the other Olympic sports. But yeah, no, I really don't think it should really be like that. I think that even I think 8 teams for basketball makes sense as well. No reason to send, but they want everyone to buy those tickets early.
Sure.
And try to get as many people out there into those seats and everything. But like when you're going in as a 10 seed out of a 10 team tournament, there's a really good chance that you're probably going to lose that first round. And if you don't, there's a really good chance you're going to lose in the next round. And it's just not competitive enough. I think that the difference between 1 and 10 in the Sun Belt Conference it's
pretty drastic.
It's pretty great. Yeah. But I think anything less than 8, maybe 6 is a little just too small.
I guess if you let 10 or 14 in, you're just kind of playing devil's advocate. You could allow one of those bottom teams to somehow win it all and then get crushed like App State did in the first round of the tournament. And then your conference looks like a joke, right?
Well, our conference is a joke. So
more of a joke than it already is. Yeah.
Yeah, you said that to the wrong guy.
Yeah. He's like, what joke? This whole conference is a joke.
Yeah, no, I mean, we're right at some things though. It's just not football or basketball.
I think the Sun Belt has done well for itself, but it's just not a place that I think that Georgia State belongs. So
we know David.
It's really nothing actually against the Sun Belt itself. It's just our
You're like we're better than you.
We are better than them. I mean, we can't.
Yeah. So it is a little something against the Sun Belt. Like I know you said the nice thing, and it's okay. It's okay. But
if we were to ever move conferences, with the exception of obviously the trash down south, I would not hate it when Sun Belt teams did well, because have moved beyond them. But as of right now, I'm kind of like, I don't want anybody to have any success because I want us to have all the success.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fair to want us to have all this success, but that doesn't have to come at the detriment of them, right? I mean, we should just have success, and we're not right now. And that's frustrating.
You have your success, and it kind of doesn't really matter what anybody else does, as long as you're better than them. Yeah, but yeah.
And we're not right now, which is stupid.
No,
dumb.
We're not.
It's not a good year. Not a good year.
And I think that's where a lot of the frustration comes in, is that we should be better because of where we are, like our market and all the other benefits that we have, but we don't seem to be doing it.
Coach Van Fleet has proved it is possible to contend for,
top 25, baby.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
So if you can make a beach volleyball successful in downtown Atlanta, then you should be able to make football successful in downtown Atlanta.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think that's all I got, and we can do some last call business.
Let's do it.
All right. Cool. Thanks, everybody, for listening. We're gonna head over to last call, talk a little bit more, drink a little bit more. If Ryan can find his beer, he looks like he may have lost it.
I didn't lose anything. I'm just real drunk.
Well, that means last call should be even
time for last
more
call.
fun.
Then
I don't know. Yeah. I'm trying to cancel on you guys, but I think I'm not gonna.
Yeah, you're gonna be there. You're gonna be there. But yeah, I find out on our Patreon page, patreon.com/State of Atlanta. Free of charge, but if you do subscribe, you get it early, as well as access to our private group chat, discounts on merch, and all that other jazzy stuff. Say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.
Peace.